a world full of spiritual darkness and confusion, we have reached a time in world history where we have to reflect back on our past in order to decide what is best for our future. The Proclamation of Desolations speech 2019, where the truth will be told and the universal law shall be established. Now is the time for total victory and defeat.
The truth shall set you free.
Trapped up in the throes of slum, to live my life is the bomb. I'm strapping up with the brawl, cause see my options are numb. It's every minute I call, but only chosen are some. I'm about to give it my all, blaze up and here I come. You read your rods of force to fight your vicious war. What about the God, the Lord, that's standing at the doors? I came as black as the night to relieve the stressful fight. I came to bring when the light and the world is stress and strife. If you see Muhammad the man, we aka Shabazz. He came to us with a plan to take away the scars. 400 years of tears and bitches, brutal killings, drugged and willing and stealing and ruthless ghetto living, feeling pain as we drain through the sands of time. Oppressed with nothing to gain, but it's time we climb. The turbo mighty and strong, I be that black stone. And for wise on the rise, it's in the journey home. Keeping the signs of the time, I let my mind rewind. Keeping the signs of the time, I let my mind rewind. Through the hard life, hard knocks and hard time. Keeping the signs of the time, I let my mind rewind. Keeping the minds we can find, but now it's time we climb from the hard life, hard knocks and hard time and rock. I got my eyes on my circle, just how much time it would take them. That if I cuss it on my pills and try to wake up and check up a joke, they probably keep me, stick me up with a shank. I send them devils out to get me while they puff on dank. So I can't, so what I mean, we offer self and wealth. But life is foolish, shattered dreams and all was left is death. Nothing else with drug addiction, crime, disease, and poverty. And suicidal missions, being needs and robbery. We see our fate up in the wake of a crime rock. Destruction with time lies to open up blind eyes. Visualize, recognize, it's the signs of time. Now hold your head to the skies, cause it's time we climb. Keeping the signs of the time, I let my mind rewind. Keeping the signs of the time, I let my mind rewind. Through the hard life, hard knocks and hard time. Keeping the signs of the time, I let my mind rewind. Keeping our minds we can find, but now it's time we climb from the hard life, hard knocks and hard time and rock.
Semuanya terlalu singkat, terlalu pantas. Kamu bohong. Tapi saya amat mencintai dirimu. Kembalilah. Itu saja sayangku. Terima kasih.
The Proclamation of Desolation speech 2019, where the truth will be told and the universal law shall be established. Kabakashi Muhammad is who I am, the great multi-Messiah. A nation that's in the rise, through the eyes of grace, and all I heard was the cry, troubled times we face. Whoever thought it could blaze into a world trade? I see the world as the praise, this from a world made. Got people suffering the bombs and nuclear warheads, and sacrificing the sons to leave them more dead. Guerrilla war in the streets on the breach of peace, cause there will never be peace till they cease to feast. Cease to feast, that's how to defeat the east. Teach with grief and deal with the peace and peace. I see the world as the fuse to spark a revolution. When Muslim business and Jews to start a retribution. Confusion of our minds keep us blind at time. And now I'm keeping the signs so my mind rewind. Flashbacks, ripping sticks in a line of crime. And dropping foes on lights when it's time to shine. But now it's time we climb, you filthy dirty dancers. We keep it rolling on dubs as if we find the answers. We add up blessings to thug and they can hardly stand us. In the world is blessing no love. We live in hard and scandalous, keeping the signs at a time. I let my mind rewind. Deep in our minds we can find, but now it's time we climb. Keeping the signs of the time, I let my mind rewind. Deep in our minds we can find, but now it's time we climb. Keeping the signs of the time, I let my mind rewind. Deep in our minds we can find, but now it's time we climb from the hard life, hard knocks and hard time and rock.
Sering kesepian, kenapa tak memutus kabar berita? Apakah salah diri ini? Mana kata-kata manis cinta dan perasaanmu yang telah kau curahkan padaku.
The truth shall set you free.
The Proclamation of Desolations Beach 2019. Kaba Kashif Muhammad is who I am. Assalamu alaikum, Facebook fam. It's Top Cat Productions LLC, Light and Life Rebuilding Center, a center of hope and salvation for all nations. And this is my Proclamation of Desolation speech 2019, where the truth will be told and a universal law shall be established. Let me check my device. Okay, Facebook family, we have entered into a serious time where everybody got to, get focused on their salvation. We must understand that the truth is our only salvation. The truth is the only thing that's gonna protect us from these troublous times that we're facing in the year 2020. The year 2020 is gonna be unprecedented as far as calamities, as far as total destruction upon the land. And we must prepare ourselves for the exodus about this land, because the land of America is about to fall. Now, first I want to start on the hypocrisy in the Nation of Islam by the Minister Louis Farrakhan. So we know that throughout the years since the Minister Louis Farrakhan took over the Nation of Islam, all we've been hearing was, let's build a nation. Let the black people come together. The white devil this and the white devils what they're doing to the black nation. But we never hear the Minister Louis Farrakhan teach the universal law. We never see the Minister Louis Farrakhan connect scriptures, the Bible, the Holy Quran, and the universal truth that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us. That's the will of Allah. That's the universal law. That's Allah's universal law. It is the Bible, the true interpretation of the Bible, the true interpretation of the Quran, and the understanding that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us of those scriptures. That's the will of Allah. That's the law that's going to be established on this earth. So it don't matter who don't like the universal law. The universal law is what's going to prevail. The will of Allah is what's going to be established. So the Minister Louis Farrakhan, he never teaches us the universal law. He might teach a bit here and there, but he never connected all the scriptures, the Bible, the Holy Quran, and the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, which is the foundation. He never connected these scriptures. He never brought these scriptures to the forefront and gave the people the true understanding of what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was trying to tell us. Why? Because, for number one, the scriptures condemn Farrakhan to death and destruction. Everything from Genesis to Revelation, all throughout the Holy Quran, all scriptures condemn the Minister Louis Farrakhan for his hypocrisy. It condemns him to death and destruction. This is why the Minister Louis Farrakhan would never teach us the universal truth. He would take a little pieces here and a little pieces there, and then go all out the way teaching something there, teaching on about the white man and what the white man doing. Then he'll take a little verse of this here from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and take a little verse of that from the Holy Quran, and then go on teaching us what the white man did. Teaching us we got to come together as a nation. We got to do this. We got to do that. those teachings is not what the people need. The people need the power. The people need the universal force. And that universal force is within that universal law. Okay? That universal force is the essence of the teaching. The teachings is the essence of that universal power. Within that universal knowledge, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures, that's where the power of the force and power dwells at. The power of Allah. If the Minister Louis Farrakhan would teach the truth, all the truth, no matter whether it condemns him or not, maybe Allah would spare his life. But he would not teach the full expoundment of the universal law, because the universal law, number one, condemns him to death. So this is why our nation can rise as a people, because they don't have what it takes. They don't know what it takes to rise. They don't have the power to rise up spiritually, to build themselves up spiritually into a righteous, moralistic society. They don't have the power to do that, because nobody's teaching the universal law. Nobody's teaching that power, the universal truth. The universal truth is power. This is why the white man don't want you to know the universal truth, because the universal truth is the nature of the black man. That's the power that the black man need to rise up and establish a moralistic a posture, a way of thinking. Okay, now let us move on. So now, we see that the Minister Louis Farrakhan and his hypocrisy never worked for us. Ever since he took over the Nation of Islam, there's always been chaos and confusion, murdering going on in the Nation of Islam. Black brothers getting their lives taken away by members of the Nation of Islam and swept up under the rug. It has been thousands and thousands of black Muslims that believe in the Honorable Elijah Muhammad since the coming of Honorable Elijah Muhammad in 1930. There have been thousands of brothers that have been murdered in the Nation of Islam by the Minister Louis Farrakhan and his leadership. All these brothers that won't comply with the Minister Louis Farrakhan and his inimical teachings that's totally contrary to the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. These brothers will come in believing and standing firm on the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and standing firm on the scriptures, the universal law, the will of Allah. And these brothers will be rooted out. They will be murdered. Some will be beaten. Some will be cast out the Nation of Islam for the simple fact that they believe in the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They believe in the will of Allah. They comply with the will of Allah. They submit their will to do the will of Allah. And these brothers was murdered and cast out. It was never publicized. Nobody never knew the murdering going on in the Nation of Islam. It's written in the scriptures. It's written in the scriptures. All this murdering going on in the Nation of Islam don't nobody know nothing about but the Minister Louis Farrakhan and his leadership. So now we know that 6,000 years ago, 6,600 years ago, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that Yaqub got 59,999 people together and went to an island called Patmos and started the grafting process. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that this man came along and was preaching teachings of luxury. How he would graft another people, bring in another race of people that would rule over the holy righteous Muslims that was living in Mecca at that time. that was living in the Holy Land. Yaqub had a dream to bring in another race of people that would rule over the holy, righteous Islamic, Allah's Islamic people. Yaqub was playing with two magnets, and he seen the power of attraction. Yaqub seen one race of people attracting the power out of another race of people. So Yaqub, he started studying and started studying the life journey. He seen that the black nation, the black man, has the potential for two people in him. He seen that the black man had a brown germ and a black germ in him. He looked into the sperm of the black man, and he seen a brown germ and a dark germ. He figured if he would separate that brown germ from the black germ and graft that brown germ all the way to his last stage, which would be the white. And then he can teach that genetically deficient white man. He would teach him all the knowledge that he need to bring righteousness down, to bring righteousness, bring the righteousness out of the black nation, and instill another ideology into the minds of the people. So Yaqub went at that journey. Yaqub took 59,999 people to an island called Patmos. Yaqub started the grafting process. The first 200 years, Yaqub made a black woman and a black man have babies. These people had babies. They multiplied in kids. They would see which kids are the darkest ones. They'll kill off all the darker ones, save the lighter ones. Put the lighter ones to the side, make the lighter ones grow up and reproduce and have more kids. They'll see which one the lightest. They'll put the lighter one to the side, kill the darker ones. This went on for 200 years. The first 200 years, they had the old-skinned, brown-skinned Japanese people. They kept on for another 200 years, killing the dark babies, saving the light-skinned babies until the babies got lighter. They'll see which one the darker ones, they'll kill them off. Save the lighter ones, put the lighter ones to the side, let them grow up, reproduce, have sex, have kids, and have more babies. They'll see which one the lighter ones, they'll kill it, put the lighter ones to the side, kill the darker ones. This went on for another 200 years. They had yellow-skinned Chinese people. Now we 400 years into the grafting now. Okay, let me check my device, fam. Okay, we're good. So now, Yaqub kept the grafting process going along for another 200 years, killing all the darker babies, saving the light-skinned babies, until the babies got lighter and lighter, until we got a pale-skinned white man, a pale-skinned white race of people here. And when the white race got here, all the spirituality, all the power, the nature, the essence of the black nation was grafted up out of them. So now we got a genetically deficient pale white man that do not have the nature to connect with the universal power. All black people on this earth has the nature to submit to universal truth, universal power. That's our nature. That's in our DNA. That's in the genetic makeup of the black man. That's in the melanin in our skin. All that's part of the universal law. All that's part of the spiritual power that governs the universe. All that spiritual power that governs the universe is the black man. That's our genetic makeup. You take every black man and woman off the earth, then you won't have no power. You won't have nothing. The earth and the moon are crashing to each other. There will be no power to uphold the universe. There will be no power to keep the 9 planets rotating around the sun. You take the black man off the earth and you have nothing. Because we are that power. We are that universal force. We are that universal truth. We are Allah. We are the all in all. He, Allah, God, is a God that dwells in all, through all and over all of the black nation. He dwells in all. Allah, God, is the governing power of the entire creation. So now, Yaqub grafted this white man. It took him 600 years. 600 years, Yaqub went in the process of grafting, the separating the brown germ from the dark germ. So now, he got to the pale white man. There was no more to graft. He got what he wanted. He got a white man with no spirituality in him. The white man cannot produce a righteous spirit. It ain't in their nature. All that was grafted up out of them during those 600 years of grafting. Black man got the nature. We got the nature, a righteous nature. Our nature is to submit to the power. That's our nature. But some black people just refuse to obey and submit to that power. They don't want that power, so they rebel against it. And then you got some that want that power and they connect with it. But all black people have the nature to connect with that power if they want to. But the white man, he cannot produce that power if he wanted to. It ain't in his nature. This is why he built the world totally contrary to what's right. This is why he built the world totally contrary and destructive to the black nation. So now, Yaqub went out that journey. He grafted that white man on. He started from the original black man to the brown-skinned Japanese, to the yellow-skinned Chinese, to the pale-skinned white man. After that, there was no more to graft. The white man is the last stage of the grafting process. Excuse me. So now, we ain't got no more, he ain't got no more to graft. So now, there's nothing else physically to graft. So what do we have now? We got a spiritual grafting going on. Now, the spiritual grafting has been going on since the departure of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the coming in through the ranks of the Nation of Islam by the Minister Louis Farrakhan. So 1975, 1976, up until now, there has been a spiritual grafting going on. So now all of the righteous in spirit, all of the righteous black brothers in spirit, the Minister Louis Farrakhan, he killed off. Some he beat up. Some they cast out the Nation of Islam. Those that could connect with that power. Those that wanted to connect with that power. Because we all have the ability to connect with that power if we want to. But those in the Nation of Islam that really wanted to cleave to the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that really believed in the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and that universal law that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us. Those are the ones that the Minister Louis Farrakhan and his leadership despised. Okay? Cain despised Abel. Abel was the brothers that was able to connect, that wanted to connect with that universal law. And Cain is the one the jinn part of the black nation. The jinn part of the black nation that rebels against the universal law. They can connect with it, but they decide they want to rebel against it. So these are the people, the black people within our black nation. Are the jinn. We got a jinn race of people in our black nation called jinns, the Gentiles. They jinns. They made of a fury flame, a rebellion against the universal law. Okay, we got two people in us. We got some that love the universal law. They delight in pleasing Allah and connecting with his power. Okay? Though that's that part of that black germ. Okay, then we got that brown germ, that gen race of people, the Gentiles within our black nation. Those are the ones that made of a fury flame to rebel against Allah's universal law. And they walk around us every day. They walk around us every day looking like us, black. They black people. But they're part of that brown germ. That brown germ that Yaqub grafted to his last stage, which is the white race. So they connected with the white race. Because they rebel against the universal law, even though they black people just like me and you. But they rebel against the universal law. They don't want to connect with it. So they rebel against it. These are the people within our black nation that the Holy Quran called jinns. The Gentile race of people. That's made of a fury flame. That's part of that last stage, which is the white race. They connected with the white man. They get along with the white man. These are the ones that the Uncle Toms of the black nation. These are the ones that the bootlickers of the black nation. The ones when you go in your courthouses and go in your government buildings and you see them laughing and sweethearting with the oppressor, and then turn around and look at you like you the enemy. They see their own black people coming up down the corridor, and they look at you like you stole something. Then when you pass by them, they turn around sweethearting and laughing and licking up the boots of the oppressor. Why? Because they're part of that gen race of people that's connected with the white race. Farrakhan and his leadership is part of that gen race of people that's connected with the white race. So now, Yaqub did the physical grafting. So Farrakhan finished it off with the spiritual grafting. So the brothers in the Nation of Islam that wanted to connect with the universal law, wanted to be a part of the Nation of Islam, that was thinking that the Farrakhan was really teaching the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and just wanted to be a part of the Islamic family. So they came in talking Honorable Elijah Muhammad talk, the will of Allah. And the leadership of the Minister Louis Farrakhan cast them out. Some they murdered, and some they beat up. So now, the Minister Louis Farrakhan is part of that spiritual grafting. He brought in the spiritual grafting. Grafting the brothers, the spiritual brothers that believe in the universal truth. So now, ever since the Minister Louis Farrakhan been in power in the Nation of Islam, you see that there's no brothers that's connected in the Nation of Islam upon the teachings about the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that's a part of the Louis Farrakhan's leadership. These brothers established their own Islamic establishment upon the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You got the New Nation of Islam. You got the 5% Nation of Islam. And you got all these different splinter groups, Nation of Islam, that don't want to be a part of the Minister Louis Farrakhan. Because every time they come around the Minister Louis Farrakhan talking universal truth, talking the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, they get cast out, they get beat up, and they get murdered. So these brothers have established a splinter group, Nation of Islam, of their own. So the Minister Louis Farrakhan brought in the spiritual grafting aspect of grafting. Yaqub 6,600 years ago grafted the people physically. And the Minister Louis Farrakhan, see, that goes to show you right there that there's nothing new up under the sun. Allah God law just keeps evolving. Everything in the world is in rotation. Everything that goes around, it comes right back around. It ain't nothing new. It just goes around and it comes right back around. It might not come right back around the same exact way, but it's going to come back around, period. It's coming back around. It might not come back the same way exactly as it came around the first time. But when the second time come around, it's going to be, the foundation is going to be the same. But it's going to be a different growth. That's the law of motion. That's the law of motion that we're dealing with here. The law of evolution. So now let's move on. So now we got the white man's ineffective rule on this earth here. The white man cannot establish a righteous society for us. He have never established righteousness, a kingdom of justice for the people on this earth, because it ain't in his nature. The white man don't know how to rule a society. He don't know how. It ain't in his nature. Only thing he doing is experimenting. He goes in his lab, experimenting this, extracting plants out the ground and mixing it up with chemicals and giving it to us, and now we got 2-3 years down the road, we thinking that the medicine that we taking healing us, we done caught cancer. The white man do not know what he's doing on this earth. The white race do not know what they're doing on this earth, because they're not part of this earth. They only 6,000 years old. Black man been here 78 trillion years. 78 trillion years we've been on this earth. The 78 trillion years is when the power of Allah moved that atom into motion. That's when life entered into our first black God. That's how long we've been here, 72 trillion years. That was 72 trillion years ago. When the power of life, the universal law entered into the mind of that first black God, that first black man, and moved that atom, that black man, into motion. And he started growing spiritually into his spiritual frame of mind. So now, that was 72 trillion years ago. 6 trillion years before that, 6 trillion years before that universal power entered into the mind of that atom, that first black man, and started that black man in the rotation, building itself up and to universal understanding of the creation. Now, 6 trillion years before that, 6 trillion years before that, that was an atom. That was a microbe in the rotation, building itself up in the 4 elements: earth, wind, fire, and water. And from those 4 elements, that first black God came into existence. So 6 aeons. It took 6 trillion years for that atom to move in the rotation. If you take a magnifying glass and hold it up in the atmosphere, you'll see all these millions and billions of atoms, the life that we breathe, that gives us life. One of those atoms went into motion, building itself up in the 4 elements: earth, wind, fire, and water, building itself up into a vast universe. 6 trillion years that atom was in the motion, building itself up, rotating, building itself up, turning and building itself up. Just as a baby rotate in his mother's womb. Just as that seed, when a man inserts his seed into a woman, and that small sperm started to rotate, building itself up into a child. That's the same way that small microbe, that small atom, built itself up in the 4 elements: earth, wind, fire, and water. 6 trillion years that small atom was in the rotation, building itself up for 6 trillion years in the 4 elements: earth, wind, fire, and water. And from those 4 elements, the black man, or a black God, was molded into shape. And when that black God was molded into shape, the power entered into that black God. And that black God started to rotate spiritually, building itself up into spiritual understanding, moving its way up into the 7 levels of spiritual development. And when that black God reached that 7th level, enabled that black God to begin to bring us a definition of what he's seen around him. What right foods to eat, how to eat to live, what we need in order to establish a righteous society, in order to subsist on the earth. He's drawn up a blueprint. And that blueprint is what we live by right now today. How to put on clothes, what right foods to eat, what medicine to extract from the earth to make medicine, what plants to extract from the earth to make medicine. All this was done 72 trillion years ago, and look right now today. We still living by that plan that was laid 72 trillion years ago. 72 trillion years later. And here it is, we living by that same law, that same interpretation that black God established on how to live on this earth 72 trillion years ago. Let me check my device. That same law that black God established 72 trillion years ago. How to brush your teeth, toothpaste, toilet paper. All that was established 72 trillion years ago. How to make clothes to cover your body. Just think about it, fam. Your everything are things that you live by every day. Every day. Shoes to put on your feet. How to make clothes to cover your body. Where you think all that come from? It ain't just got here 20 years ago. It been here trillions of years. Trillions. How to make bowls to put your food in to eat. Everything that we use right now today. 72 trillion years ago, it was established. And right now, we living it right now. Islam established it. But we say we don't believe in Islam. I don't believe in Islam. Them Muslims, they don't know what they talking about. You don't believe in Islam, but you living by the Islamic reality every day. Every day you wake up in the morning. How the 24 hours in the day. 365 days a year. All that was established 72 trillion years ago. 72 trillion years ago, a black God gave us 24 hours in a day. And we wake up and we work 8 hours out the day. We work 8 hours out the day. And 16 hours out the day, we do whatever. We sleep and we do whatever. 24 hours a day. Where you think that you got the 24 hours a day from? You thought it just got here when a white man got here 6,000 years ago? Huh? They was living by 24-hour days 72 trillion years ago. 12 months in a year. They was living 12 months in the year. They was going by 12 months in the year 72 trillion years ago. And here it is today, 72 trillion years later, we got 12 months in our year. 24 hours a day. You go to bed and wake up in the morning. and go about your everyday routines throughout the day, which symbolizes the resurrection. You think that you just started getting up in the morning and going out taking care of your business through the day? All this just started. It was started 72 trillion years ago when that black God wrote that blueprint out on how to govern this universe. All that's part of Islam. All that's Islam. Everything what you live by in this world today is Islamic. Everything is a Muslim. Everything is Islam. Remember that, Islam. So now, like I said, let us move on. The white man's ineffective rule. The white man, I would say, is spiritually deficient. He don't know what he's doing. Why you see his civilization is falling apart. All his civilization is confused. All they know is how to make weapons and murder. All they know is how to sell drugs and poison people's mind and get rich. Money. That's all their mind is on. That's their God. Money. Wealth. They care nothing about your livelihood. They care nothing about your spirituality. Excuse me. White man has no type of remorse for your subsistence. He can care less whether you're living in a state of destitution. It does not affect him. It does not bother him because he don't have the spirit of righteousness in him. There's no justice in the white race. This is why the white race cannot establish a righteous society where everybody, all of the people of the earth can live in peace and harmony. All he care about is printing money and living in luxury. The white man cannot establish a righteous society for us. The only people that can establish a righteous and just society for this world out here is the black nation. Because the power of Allah dwells in us. And it's up to us to rise up as a nation of people and take over our earth and establish peace and harmony and the law of balance on this earth. If we don't rise up and grab a hold of the stronghold, which is universal truth, which is the will of Allah, which is the Bible, the Quran, the true interpretation of the scripture as given to us by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and me, Kaba Kashif Muhammad, the Son of Man. If we don't rise up now and get a firm grip on the universal law, which would enable us to bring in the power which will enable us to do right and establish righteousness on this earth, then we just destroyed as a nation of people. We have no future. There's no future for us. Now is the time for the rise of the black nation. Now is the time for this black nation to get the truth, the naked truth. We don't want no covered up truth. Now is the time for this black nation, every woman, black woman, child, and man on this earth to come into the universal law. And when we come into that universal law, it's over with. It's over with. Because that universal law is Allah. And once the universal law, once Allah get in you, once you connect with Allah, you connecting with a powerful force. And the white man know that. This is why he been working for 6,000 years trying to sweep Islam up under the rug. Because he know when you come into grips with your nature, which is the universal law, which is the will of Allah, the true interpretation of the scriptures, This is why he twisted the scriptures up. And this is why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had to come and unravel the scriptures. This is why Allah sent Master Bar Muhammad to come and unravel the scriptures. So that he can smooth out the falsehood and lay the pathway back to him, which is Allah. So when we come into universal power, universal truth, we coming into power. So now it's the time for this black nation to connect back with their nature, which is the will of Allah. And for us to rise up and take over our earth and establish freedom, justice, and equality for all. Because the white man has proven that he is ineffective. The white man is ineffective in providing freedom, justice, and equality for this earth out here. He cannot do it. He cannot do it. It ain't in his nature. It ain't in his nature. He go experiment, do all experimentation. And all he come up with is death and destruction. He don't come up with nothing but death and destruction. Everything he touched turn the fire. Everything he touched turn to crap. All he do is everything he give us is inimical to us. It destroys us quick and faster. All his medicine, all his drugs, all the food that he provide for us is poison. He got us eating all the wrong foods and got us dying of cancer, killing us all, injecting all type of poison in food and got us eating and thinking it tasting good, while all the while it's killing us. All he got to offer is drugs and alcohol. Anything that's detrimental and inimical to our subsistence, he push it right in our face. The white man is ineffective. He don't know how to rule a world. This is why God limited his time for 6,000 years. 6,000 years the white man was given to rule on this earth. To rule the black nation and a rulership totally contrary to universal truth. Totally contrary to what's right. Because Allah knew that they can't produce a righteous spirit. All they can do is come up with materialistic things. They good at making materialistic things. He makes a Rolls Royce. He makes a Mercedes Benz from the material that was here before he got here. He didn't create the metal that was in the ground before he got here. But he takes what the black man put in the earth that was here before he got here. Before the white race got here, it was metal in the earth before the white man got here. So the white man took the steel and the metal out of the earth and made a Rolls Royce. Got you thinking that he's just this big exquisite God that's on this earth ruling and got all these magical ideas of luxury that he's throwing in your face. But he ain't telling you that where he got the material to build it. He created nothing on this earth. White man ain't put nothing here. It was here before he got here. The dirt and the mud was on the earth for him to build them big mansions out there we stay in. It was already here before he got here. He ain't telling you that. All he's doing is making from what we created. From what the black man created, which is the earth. He done made him a civilization from the creation that the black man put here before he got here. And got you thinking that he's just this big God that's coming up with all these magical ideas. He builds a Lamborghini and got you dazzled to death. You dazzled to death because the white man comes up with an internet, a Lamborghini, comes up with electron. Who gave him the power to establish the internet? Who gave him the power to the knowledge on how to come up with ideas on how to make cars? Where it come from? It comes from Allah. All power comes from Allah. It comes from the black nation. That's where it came from. He ain't telling you that. He ain't telling you that. He's trying to sweep that up under the rug so you can think that he God. So now, the white man cannot build a righteous society for us. He's ineffective. He don't know what he's doing. Look at the world that he built. Look at the people that's dying every day. What they dying of? Diseases, cancer, overdoses of drugs. He don't know how to rule a world. The white man have no idea on how to rule a civilization and have that civilization living in tranquility. He don't know how to rule the world pursuant to the law of balance and harmony. It ain't in his nature. So now let us move on. So now, being that, let me check my device, fam. Okay, we got a couple of more minutes. So now, I'm gonna have to do this here in about 3 videos. So y'all look out for part 1, and y'all look out for part 2 and part 3, because it's gonna be 3 videos of my Proclamation of Desolation speech. And I just want y'all to just relax and just lay back and just listen to what I got to say, because I got what I'm about to give y'all in video 2. I'm gonna go deep into the scriptures. And I'm going to prove to y'all that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad didn't choose the Minister Louis Farrakhan to inherit his kingdom. And I'm going to prove that to you. That the Minister Louis Farrakhan was never chosen by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to inherit the Nation of Islam and bring about his universal law. And I'm going to go deep into it. I'm going to get real deep into it. And you know what? I'm gonna take you on a journey. I'm gonna take y'all on a real spiritual journey. Excuse me. Of spiritual understanding of the scriptures. So it won't be no. I'm crossing all T's and I'm dotting all I's. I'm dotting all I's and crossing all T's. So everybody get a good understanding of the universal law of who the Messiah is, who the Son of Man is, the death of the Messiah, and the resurrection of the Messiah. All this is going to be explained to you in the next 2 videos. And I'm going to get so deep into it. I'm going to get so deep that no man on this earth can get as deep as it's going to get in these next 2 videos. No man on earth. And if you think there's one on the earth, bring them to me. Bring them to me and bring his teachings to me. And set it next to mine and let's see who's going to prevail. It ain't no man in this universe. It ain't no man on the earth, under the earth, on top of the earth, on the side of the earth that can grasp the universal truth of these scriptures and bring the universal law to the people. It ain't no man. It ain't Farrakhan can't do it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad didn't do it. Master Father Muhammad, the one that taught the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he ain't do it. It was left up to one man, and that's the Son of Man, the Messiah. And in these next 2 videos, I'm gonna show you who the Son of Man and the Messiah is in the scriptures. I'm gonna prove to you who the Son of Man and the Messiah is. Okay, in my next 2 videos. So I want y'all to lock in. Let me check my device. I want y'all to lock in and y'all get ready for the ride, because I'm going to take you on a spiritual journey. I want y'all to tune in. I'll be right back with y'all in my next video. Kaba Kashid Muhammad is who I am. This is the proclamation, a desolation speech. This is the introductory. Now I'm finna get into the full expoundment of the proclamation, a desolation speech. In my next 2 videos, I'm gonna break it down to you, and I'm gonna let y'all see that the time is up. The time is over. It's over with. Okay? The time, as we said today, shall be no more. Kaba Kashid Muhammad is who I am. The great multi-Messiah. The prophesied Son of Man. Y'all tune in for the next video. I'm out.